Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, looks like Royal Caribbean's done it again. Their largest cruise ship in the world just doesn't seem to be large enough. We also have Taiwan easing COVID restrictions, which is kind of big news if you're planning an Asian trip. And then we have over 100 families suing Tui Cruise Line. And you might remember why when we tell you the story. Well, it seems like the Wonder of the Seas that can hold 7,000 passengers just doesn't hold enough passengers because guess what? Royal Caribbean overbooked the March 12th cruising, the spring break cruise. Passengers now getting notices that, sorry, we've overbooked your cruise, and yeah, here are some options if you'd like to volunteer to take one of these options. Well, you can. Jump on another ship, the Explorer of the Seas, a much smaller ship, not the newest ship, it's like 10 years, 11 years old. It has many more, much less services on board than you would on the Wonder of the Seas, the biggest, brandest, newest ship in Royal Caribbean for now. You can jump on that, and if you jump on that, you will get a full refund, and you will also get $300 in onboard credit. Or you can take two other sailings, one on July 30th or one on August 13th for the Wonder of the Seas. In that case, you will also receive a money back credit for your ship, or you can just take it, I'm going to do what I want to do and I'm going to cancel the cruise. You'll get all your money back from the cruise, except maybe your insurance. Remember that, insurance is different. And you'll also get a 100% future cruise credit for another sailing that has to be done by March 15th of 2024. So at least they have some pretty good options. You can get your money back, you get another cruise out of it. I would probably jump all over that. I'll take two cruises for the price of one then, especially on the Wonder, as the prices are pretty high on that ship being the biggest and brightest and newest in the Royal Caribbean fleet. But yeah, this isn't the first time it's happened. Back in December of 22, they also overbooked the Wonder of the Seas. What the heck is going on with their booking engine that it keeps overbooking during busy times of year? Is it people booking guaranteed cabins at a future date and they don't keep track of the guaranteed cabins and find out, whoops, we don't have enough? Because if you're booking a cabin, you normally get to choose it. And the only one I can think of that you can't choose, unless they're booking the same cabin multiple times. I think that's something Royal Caribbean, you better fix, because it seems to only be happening on the Wonder of the Seas. Next, we also have Taiwan is now no longer requiring cruise passengers to turn in a negative COVID test before visiting Taiwan, unless you show symptoms. If you show symptoms, they're going to want you to take a negative quick test, an antigen test. But this is a big thing because in Asia, COVID is still a big thing going on. They still have a lot of restrictions in some countries. And this is one of the signs of the easing of the restrictions. So as Japan and other areas try to open, Singapore, it just makes it easier for passengers to do with, you don't have to keep testing and doing a lot of jumping through the hoops, right? So it is kind of big news. A lot of cruises like to head into Taiwan. It's a very exotic destination, and so good. I'm glad to see some restrictions easing there. Next, we have that story about over 100 families who were on a cruise together. Not they didn't know each other, they just happened to be on a cruise together, are now suing a cruise line. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up to date with all things cruising, everything from what's happening to canceled cruises, to new ships coming out, to canceled itineraries, to cruising, going into refurbishment ships, and Still, COVID protocols are still changing. You might need to keep up to date with those things as well. We'll talk about everything. We'll try and make it as fun as possible, and I hope you'll join us. We might even save you some money, and we might just make your cruise just a little easier next time. And again, I really do appreciate it. Just hit it. It doesn't cost anything. Click. Simple, done. Never have to worry about it again. Okay. Well, the Marella Discovery 2, a couple months back, canceled a cruise midway through the cruise. Why did they cancel it? Well, they said it was technical issues with food. The point was they didn't have any more. They were going to run out of food on the cruise. And they canceled the cruise and flew everybody back to Scotland and England. Well, not that they didn't necessarily fly them back to where they flew out of. They flew them back, I believe, to Glasgow. And then people were taking buses for 8 hours, etc. It was like a 23, 24-hour trip to get back home. And the cruise line turned around Tui and said, you know what? We're not going to give you all your money back. We're only going to give you back the money for the portion of the cruise that they canceled. And then they offered them, I think it was a £400 or dollar FCC, future cruise credit, for booking with them again. Because I would trust that they will always have food on board after they just canceled my cruise mid-cruise because they were going to run out of food. I've never heard of that happening before on any cruise ship or any cruise line ever. 130 some cruises, never heard of that happening. And rightly, in my opinion, everybody on that cruise should have received a full refund, not a prorated refund based on how many days. If you're canceling my cruise in the middle due to something that's not weather emergency related, or, riots in the streets of the country you're visiting, but it's because you can't supply food, or your ship breaks down and can't continue, that's on the cruise line and not the passenger. They deserve a full cruise, and if you can't provide it, they deserve a full refund. Well, apparently a lot of the passengers on board agreed, and they've started a class action lawsuit against Tui for wanting the full refund plus more compensation because of the inconvenient way that they sent them home and the length of trip, etc. I don't know about that. Maybe if Tui would have just sent everybody to where they should have been in the first place, that could have been avoided. But yeah, if I should normally fly for 6 hours and it took me 24 hours to get home and I had to take buses for 8 hours, I'd be pretty upset. Especially that you canceled my cruise because you didn't have any food to feed us, and then you told us, oh, by the way, you're not getting any money back for those 5 days you were already on. We're going to prorate it. Really bad luck for Tui, and I'm very curious to see what happens in this lawsuit. What do you guys think? Do you think Tui should be on the hook for this? Do you think they should have immediately... in my opinion, they should have gotten all their money back and a 100% future cruise credit. Instead, they offered them a partial refund based on how many days they were already at sea. And by the way, more days were canceled than they actually were on the ship. Just in case you thought, well, they only missed 1 or 2 days. No. It was over half the cruise. So yeah, I would have been pretty upset. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.